Welcome back, guys. This is a space where we talk about all things human. My name is Shadi. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I am also an athlete. Today, we are talking about how to actually build discipline. Discipline is one of those areas that so many people struggle with, and it pains me because, especially as an athlete, I believe wholeheartedly what people can achieve, but they just need the right information to do so. So I'm going to get into it so much to the point that I made all my points that I'm going to reference because I don't want to miss a thing, okay? I want to help you guys be able to have long-term success. Something that I tell my clients is I don't do band-aids on leaky faucets, meaning I'm not here to give you just those run-of-the-mill coping skills that honestly nowadays you can just look up, right? You don't need someone telling you what those are, meaning you can't rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeting, right? You have to do the thing that you don't always want to do. Break the large tasks into smaller tasks so that you can have better management and structure of your schedule, yada, yada. That's not what this video is about. This video is about things that are actually going to help you build long-term success. And the things that you develop actually from this video, from the things I'm going to talk about, it's not just going to help you with discipline. It's going to help you with a lot of other areas in your life. So if you've already watched some of my other videos, you're going to notice a little bit of a trend that I talk about identity a lot. Identity is so important when it comes to mental health. It is often neglected, and it's a shame because if your identity itself is fragmented, dismantled, just not whole, you're going to have some sort of suffering in regards to your mental health. If it's not in this area, it'll be in this one. It's just inevitable. Identity it's everything. It's everything as a human being. So we're going to get into it without further ado. There's 4 points in here that I'm going to get into, and I will say that I'm moving on to the next point so you see exactly where I'm at, like number 1, number 2, etc. I'm also going to say coping skill when I insert the thing that you would really need to take away in order for you to practice. Because information and education is very important, but I don't want you to kind of lose sight of those key takeaways of like, that's what I should maybe write down or, practice daily or whatever it might be that applies to you, okay? Let's get into it, guys. So the first piece is what I would just reference as statements and overall talking verbiage style about the thing that we need to do. So people traditionally say things like, I need to go to the gym. I need to clean the house. I should go to the gym. I should clean the house. There's nothing wrong with talking like that. I think we all talk like that to some extent, but the problem is when people have created a very maladaptive cycle of suffering regarding their lack of discipline, those statements are often riddled with these two emotions, guilt and shame. I should go to the gym. I should clean the house. I know I need to, but I just can't seem to get myself to do it. Then guilt and shame enter the mix. I don't feel good about myself. I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like I'm dropping the ball. I feel like I'm making more mistakes. If I have someone that has perfectionist tendencies, that's going to be times 10, that much worse, right? Of them not doing the thing. And then it creates a cycle, right? So I gotta do all these things. Now I feel bad and I have guilt and shame and I feel like even worse of a person. Well, why would I do good for myself if I feel so bad about myself? It's almost like a self-sabotage or self-punishment that starts to create or happen. And then now I'm not going to do the thing for myself. And then the cycle continues. I never lost sight of what I actually need to do, but those emotions are such a driving force that's now affected my narrative overall. And then the cycle continues. So instead, coping skill, we need to change the statement style. And we need to incorporate your values and your belief systems, okay? So in order to establish a stronger identity, you need to know your values. You need to know what you believe in this life and within yourself. If you don't know, coping skill, you can go get a values list online, as simple as that is, and make a mark by all the ones that you wholeheartedly believe in. Maybe try to narrow it down to like 10. I know sometimes my clients are like, I have like 30. I love all of them. And it's like, yeah, but which ones do you like fight for? Which ones really sit with you? Make a note of all of them and then go back and circle the ones that you are not adhering to in your everyday life, right? For the most part. And it might actually kind of shock you. So instead, coping skill, we change the statement from I should and I need to I value. If I need to do the house, if I should clean my house, right? I value a clean home. I value a fresh and clean space because I value my health, the gym. I value mobility. I value health. I have so much gratitude for being able to move my body, right? There are people out there dreaming about what I can do with my body. So you see how much more deeply ingrained that messaging becomes. I value and I believe in. And those two often are not coupled with guilt and shame, because now these are going to hopefully help you empower yourself. I value these things. They bring me so much joy and pride and love of self, right? These are the things I believe in, the things I want to fight for. So let me go fight for it, right? Let me go do something different. And essentially, it helps us understand that we have to follow the plan, our values, right? And not our mood, our emotions. Our emotions are like little creatures. They're like little kids. They run rampant. They pop in, they pop out, they change from hour to hour, day to day. You can't rely on those guys. They're messaging, right? They're giving you powerful messages. You need to listen to them sometimes, right? And actually sit with them. That's a whole nother thing. But we don't want to follow them and let them lead our life. We can't be the slaves to them. We need them to understand we are the master of them, right? Whatever we determine is going to be. So change your shoulds and needs to values and belief systems. Either I value and I believe, okay? That's number one. Number two is you need to start focusing on the after result, not the work that it is required to do the thing. Okay, so what people often do is, let's say we're climbing a mountain, instead of thinking about how beautiful the view is going to be up top, they think about the constant climb and how treacherous that's going to be and how exhausting that's going to be. So coping skill, you need to, whatever the thing you're going to do, so let's say it's cleaning the house, you really neglected the house. Before you even do anything, just sit there for a minute. You can close your eyes if you want, but I want you to envision a clean space. I want you to imagine everything being put away and how either good it's going to smell or how good it's going to feel or how beautiful your space is. That's going to bring in a whole bunch of hopefully happy and light and just good energy regarding your space and emotions, that it might propel you to get up and go do the thing, because I'm focusing on how good it's going to feel after the fact, rather than the fact that I have to get up, I can't watch my show, my body's like, I just don't feel like it, the dishes are going to take forever, ew, there's food, I don't want to touch it. Your brain is wired to keep you safe and to keep you alive. If I think about all the negative implications of the thing I'm going to do, of course your brain is going to be like, nah, let's just not do that. I can come up with 50 million other reasons to not do the thing. And now we just lost sight of, and you can see how these all work off of each other, 1 and 2 already, but now I've lost sight of my values, who I am, my identity, my belief systems. I'm not thinking about all the beautiful things that are to be if I just get up and do the thing. I'm just sitting more in that rut, which now creates the ongoing cycle, okay? So if you are struggling with that though, part of your imagination, or just kind of sitting in that space, which is its own coping skill, is this other coping skill. If, let's say you're just having a day and you cannot get yourself to act. Okay, if I clean the house or if I go to the gym, how do I imagine myself to feel or to think? Well, if I go to the gym, I imagine I would feel happier, I'd have some endorphins, I'd feel lighter, more energetic, I'd feel proud of myself, I'd feel like I accomplished something that day. If I don't go to the gym, how do I imagine myself to think or feel? I imagine myself to, again, have guilt and shame. I'm going to feel awful and sluggish and I just don't care and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, that already should have given you the path and the inspiration to get up and go do the thing. Because I'm acknowledging not just how beautiful the view is going to be on top of the mountain, but how I hope to feel looking at that view. And these are all little mechanisms that are hopefully going to ignite you in getting up and doing the thing. So that's number 2. Okay, so number 2 is focusing on the view, right, of the mountain, what you're actually going to achieve, how good that's going to feel. And then the other coping skill there is, if you can't seem to get yourself to act, then to say, if I did the thing, what would that allow for me to feel or think? And then hopefully that will give you the energy to propel yourself moving forward. Number 3 is trying to make things a little bit more personal. Now this one's a little site specific. So what I mean by making it personal, especially related to moving our bodies and fitness, because it's such an area that people struggle with, is something I tell my clients is, is broccoli healthy? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, do you have to eat broccoli to be healthy? And then they're like, no, I mean, it's healthy, but I don't have to eat it to be healthy. Why? Well, there's carrots, there's Brussels sprouts, there's, all these other veggies that I don't have to just eat broccoli. Correct, right? So it's the same thing with something like the gym. Do you have to just sit on a treadmill all day to be healthy? No. But if I have someone that isn't really into sports, doesn't really care to work out, but they know they want to because they're trying to have goals for their body or whatever it might be, right? Again, we're trying to build discipline. Then don't get on the treadmill. Why don't you allow yourself to be a little kid for a moment and just try and be curious? Get on the bike and try cycling, or maybe try an actual sport. Maybe you're a more people-y oriented person. Maybe you like the competitiveness of being on a team. Maybe you don't. Maybe try weight training, or try to get someone that can help you, show you something new. Try different things and see how you attach. Unless you are an athlete or some type of performance trainer, coach, athletic, if you're in that world, you're going to have to do things you don't like to do in order to perform. But most people are not those people, right? You're just trying to move your body, be healthy, etc. So number 3 is really about making things personal. And the coping skill there is as simple as being curious with yourself, engaging in play, and just allowing yourself to have the whimsy of not knowing and making it an adventure. Go figure it out. Have fun doing it. It doesn't have to be so pressure filled, right? And perfectionist based. And you can do that with the house too. You can be playful. You can, maybe cleaning the house. Maybe you're a podcast person. Maybe you're a music person. Maybe you're put on a cute cleaning outfit kind of person. I don't know, like whatever it might be for you. Not everything has to be super like regimented or rigid, right? So number 3 is just very simple. Make it personal, make it yours, make it authentic to some degree, okay? And then last but not least, number 4 is more of a statement, but it brings these, English is hard, it brings all of this full circle. Seek pride over perfection. Perfection is not possible for any human being on the planet. It's like chasing something that can never be caught, almost like a carrot dangling over you and you're like trying to get it and you can just never, because the rope, the string, whatever, it's just not feasible. So if you don't take pride in who you are as a person, well, how do you take pride? Knowing who you are. Your pride comes from your values, your belief systems, where you come from. Maybe it's your name, maybe it's your culture, maybe it's your people, maybe it's your story. There's so many things that go into identity, but when you take pride in yourself, you're going to be taking the actions to show up for yourself. But if you don't know any of that, it's easy for you to fall into cracks and holes and to slip and to not really know what you even want in this life. It becomes very easy to make excuses and to break from your discipline. Everything just becomes so fleeting and unsatisfying, right? It's a lack of fulfillment. Identity is key. So the minute you learn to really establish pride in oneself, a lot of things start to feel, I won't say easy, but there is a more of an ease towards achieving the things that you want to achieve in this life. So all of these 4, they do act on each other, as you can imagine, because it all encompasses this idea of identity. But if you really want long-standing discipline, I hope that you guys take a minute to start sitting with yourselves and figuring out not just what you want in life, but who you are in the story of your life, right? And that'll hopefully be just a bit of a game changer for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And like I said, the examples are very simple, right? Cleaning the house or going to the gym, you don't have to build some crazy ass company or try to be a billionaire tomorrow, like whatever it is that's your cup of tea. I hope you guys believe in yourselves enough to just try one step in front of the other. Small steps cover great distances, okay? If this is helpful for you guys, please let me know. I would love the feedback as to what you guys are taking away from this or any questions that you might have. I am still very new to the grand scheme of YouTube. So please follow or subscribe and leave a little thumbs up, right? That little button. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care and stay human.